breach attack simulation, AttackIQ, Cisco Secure Firewall, remote access Trojan, Netwire, command and control. We're going to be in audit mode or IDS mode in this particular scenario. Let's get started. We are in Cisco Secure Firewall Management Center, and we're jumping to intrusion policies. Now, it looks like nothing's set here. It's because I'm running in multi-domain. I'm going to switch the domain here, and you can see here's our policy, CSW246 intrusion. And let's go ahead and click Snort 3 version. And this talks a little bit about intrusion policies. Certainly can jump to another video to look at this. But what we want to do is look at group overrides. We have a new category called MITRE Attack Framework. And you can see here we've got enterprise with 11 groups from command and control all the way down to discovery, execution, exfiltration, and so on. Now we can see here with user execution, we've got malicious file, and there's our technique. So 1204.002. In this case, we're going to look at CNC type traffic, but you get the idea. We can really test our firewall platform against MITRE. Really neat. So let's go ahead and jump to access policies. We're going to go ahead and just give you a refresh of what we have here in regards to policy. So very simple, inside, outside, allow, but we do have this wrapped up with an intrusion policy that's set to detect only, as well as a file policy as well to detect malware. There's our intrusion policy. And if we look over to the right here, we will see our file policy, which again is looking for malware. We'll go ahead and cancel this out. Everything looks good here. Let's go to analysis and we'll go to unified events and we'll go ahead and start the test. So let's go into AttackIQ. We'll go to assessments. And in here, we're going to create a new assessment. We haven't done this at this point. We're going to start right from scratch here, create a custom assessment. We'll go ahead and add our scenario. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll add scenarios. And here you can search on all kinds of types of scenarios here. In our case, we're looking for CNC. And we can add a couple more rows here, and we're going to scroll down. And what I'm looking for here specifically, and again, you could test them all, but I'm looking for Netwire remote access Trojan. Here's the scenario. It's looking very specifically to that for that path. And if things look good within Cisco Secure Firewall, we might be able to detect and or prevent this. So let's go ahead and add this. We'll add the scenario. Everything looks good. We'll go done, and we'll add our endpoint. This is the endpoint, again, that's making the request outbound. That's going to go through Cisco Secure Firewall. So let's go ahead and give it a name here. I don't like this new test 0. So let's go manage scenarios. I like to copy this scenario name down and then go ahead and add it to my test so I know specifically. Obviously, if you have multiple scenarios there, you might be a little bit more broad in the test name, but I'm very specific here. And let's go ahead and use that name here, CNC dash, and then we'll use Netwire Remote Access Trojan. Okay, that looks good. Oh, let's add audit here just so we're tracking it. And we'll save that out. That looks good. Let's go ahead and continue. And let's run it. We're ready to go. So that client will make that request. It's going to hit Cisco Secure Firewall. And hopefully our IDS platform, because we didn't turn on prevention, we're only doing detection, will detect this specific attack or threat within our organization. So tons of logs coming up here. We should see it. This is live. Let's just double check. Oh, we just saw this finish. It's not prevented. Okay, well, we expected that because we're in detection only mode. Let's go ahead and look at unified events. And there we are, intrusion. And it does say would have blocked. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply this. Look for a filter here specifically for that event. Get rid of all the other noise that's there. And here's our event again. Break it down and we can see would block, but it's in detection mode. I can see the classification. I can see the intrusion message. I see MITRE attack. The rule groups are identified here. We'll dig into that in a second here. So good insight. We know that we can detect this specific attack. Let's go into an event specifically, and let's look at the table, and we'll scroll across and we'll look at some of the other detail that we have here. So we can see would have blocked, it's in detection. Here's something really neat with Cisco Secure Firewall. We actually profile the host. So not only do we see the indicators of compromise highlighted here, but we also see the operating system, the host protocols, any recent malware activity, any vulnerabilities that are associated. Lots of really good data, including the user that's logged in on the asset. We can even see people that have logged on in the past. As we scroll across here, we can see there's MITRE. It's actually command and control application layer protocol. And that rule group, as we mentioned earlier, is command and control. So that's pretty good, but we also capture the packet for that event. You don't need to turn this on. It's natively inherent within the platform itself. So we can come in, we can review the payload itself, and we can actually pull that down if we wanted to and open it up in Wireshark, or we can view it as I'm doing here right in the browser itself. And we can also see our rule, right? This is snort. And we're going to see this in the next video where we're going to actually come in and create a new snort rule to detect something that maybe we weren't able to. So we know that's the URI that we're focused on here. If we go back into AttackIQ and we go into activity details, we see that command and control, specifically the URI that was requested, we see a 200, which was successful. If we look in the observable details, we'll see that request path is exactly what we're looking for within snort, and that's what we were able to detect, and ultimately we could have prevented as well. Now we can come in here and add some notes too. And here, perhaps we want to enter some notes saying firepower set to detection, but would have blocked if it was set in preventative mode, right? Or prevention or IPS mode. We can post that note and we have it there for reference for later, but we're confident that we not only can detect it, but we could prevent it as well. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Let's move on to the next one.